Tell me this didn't happen to you. You had a regular Wednesday at work, you came back home and felt beat down. To make it all go away, you made a nice dinner for you. When your stomach is full, it's almost automatic to lie down and chill with a couple of episodes on Netflix or engage in a mindless scroll on social media. But if all you wander off to your high school buddies and see that they're all doing great. One got married, another one just launched his first startup, and the third is enjoying his wonderful time in the Maldives. All of a sudden, a depressing voice in the back of your head says, "What are you doing with your life?" Even though you had a productive Wednesday and earned a few promotion points from the boss, a feeling of guilt, deficiency, shame, and repulsiveness kind of creeps on you. This scenario can play out in so many ways, but the outcome is almost always the same: feeling behind in life. One person is getting married, another one is on his way to become very successful, the third person is enjoying his time in the middle of nowhere on the most beautiful beach in the world. Looking at all this that happens in the moment, or at least a day ago, we get FOMO. FOMO stands for the fear of missing out and refers to the feeling or perception that others are living better lives, they're having more fun, and they experience better things than you. It involves a deep sense of envy and affects your self-esteem. This phenomenon is not new. You can even find evidence of FOMO in ancient texts, but it wasn't put under a microscope until the last few decades by Dr. Dan Herman, a marketing strategist that was very intrigued by this. It piqued the interest of scientists since the age of information, or let me say since the age of social media. Getting a postcard 100 years ago could give you the same feeling, but now we have access to the feeling 24/7. Social media skyrocketed the FOMO phenomenon in several ways. You have access to people's highlights when you mostly feel average, and then your average becomes shitty because it looks like your peers are having the best time of their life while you're sitting at home feeling behind in life. We know that social media is a platform where people are comparing their best picture-perfect experiences. So how can we stop this phenomenon that seems to occur every single day? When it happens to me, and yes, it happens to everybody, you're not alone, I would like to remind you of a few things that I like to remind myself to quickly stop feeling behind in life. Number one, likes are absolutely free. Just kidding, this is not one of the steps, but if you press that like button below to make it turn blue, you give chaos to the YouTube algorithm and you force those small little robots to carry this video to more computers and to more people that need to see it. Thank you so much for doing that. Anyway, the first thing I remind myself is that life is work in progress. From a philosophical standpoint, we humans created time. According to the first Google search, the Babylonians and Egyptians began to measure time at least 5,000 years ago to coordinate public events, to schedule the shipment of goods, and organize planting and harvesting. And yes, it's such a smart decision we made a long time ago collectively. But all of that seems to be forgotten when we hop on a mindless scroll on social media. We feel like things should happen immediately in this very second because overnight success became a sweet sales story on the media. I get awful lot of questions. How can I make money as a 16, 17 years old? How can I stop being sad? I almost tell everyone that every change takes time and we should cherish the baby steps, because imagine if we're able to just go out and find money on the sidewalk. I know it's a stupid example, but just imagine it. I wish it was real. Anyway, if this happened every day, money will, without question, lose value over time. Getting something quick has no value. Just look at what happens with the Powerball winners. They become more miserable than ever because they get something of gigantic value without lifting a finger. We see it happens with relationships too. It may be great in the beginning like most relationships, but when you get to know each other a bit more intimate and when you get to know your shortcomings, it becomes a problem. Most of us think that we shouldn't work through them or accept them because it was so great before they surfaced. Life is work in progress. Sometimes I wish those smart Babylonians and Egyptians could predict the phones and the internet so they can remind us that every time we hop on a mindless scroll, that time exists and that every progress takes time. just like those shipments back then. The second thing I would like to remind myself is that motion determines emotion. Have you noticed that almost every time you lie down to sleep or just chill, that's when your mind starts to race? It's no secret that humans are creatures, if you can call us that, of motion. Our whole physiology is made to move. Movement affects everything from circulation to digestion to metabolism to immunity. With movement, our bodies regulate hormone activity, respire, detoxify, and if not hundreds, thousands of healthy bodily functions. You can notice that we didn't say lie down on the couch. I mean, in the example we gave a few minutes ago, we did the work on a Wednesday and we have justification to lie down in bed. We earned it. But it doesn't have to be the phone we are interested in. It can be a book, a course, a skill, or even a hobby. We'll cover more about this in the last reminder. Now we know that movement is healthy, but the question remains, how do we start and how do we keep on moving? I've tried many tips and tricks to take the first step, because if you've been here on my channel for a while now, you know that action and take action or take some form of action is something I say very frequently. Now, I must admit that action in most cases comes to me naturally, because that's one of the pillars of what I preach. But in the beginning, I had major resistance. One trick that worked really well for me, and I made a whole video about it that should pop right here, is the Japanese technique. It's called the Kaizen technique and is based on the 1-minute principle for self-improvement on personal and professional level. It basically means that if you want to achieve something, you should do it every single day for 1 minute at the same time. The point of this technique is to trick your brain that you'll do a simple thing for only a minute. But once you set your body in motion, you'll want to continue after that minute. You basically turn your big audacious goals into smaller actionable steps that can be done every single day without any excuses. And what is most important, this principle allows you to see progress, no matter how small. The third step may be the most important of all. Go on an information diet. Feeling behind in life almost always starts with the phone because, well, we don't have postcards anymore. Can you imagine walking in nature without phone and getting the feeling of FOMO? Me neither. The problem is not that we have no information nowadays. In former times, you may need to go to the nearest library to find that mysterious tome and see the recipe for pancakes. Now, just a few clicks away and voila. The problem now is that we have so many information that our brain is basically crashing down. I'm not joking. It's called information overload, and it can manifest itself as a brain fog or difficulty making decisions. Seems a bit familiar, right? In general, information overload is the kind of stress you feel when you consume more information than you can digest and more than you actually need to make a decision. And how many information do you need to make a simple decision? Not many, right? We don't need to know everything about engineering or aerodynamics or chemistry. All we need is selective knowledge. If you want to be an engineer, it's cool. Turn the internet upside down to get every information you need. But that's it. No need to know who, where, or when with the mindless scroll we do every single day. Basically, information diet is what I like to imagine like putting walls on the side of your eyes and blocking out every unnecessary information. For example, if you watch the news all the time and be in touch with every bad thing that's happening, I can guarantee you personally that you'll never be happy and fulfilled person. Everything you read and see gets processed by the brain. You can't just be friends with 5 losers and be a winner. The same happens with information. The more information you let in, the higher the chance of getting information overload. For this step, I always put a set of rules that keep me in a state of low information diet. Rule number 1, no toxic friendships. Imagine like friends are parts of your body. One is your torso, one is your hand, one is your leg, etc. Sorry for this creepy example, but I want you to imagine it very simply. 5 of your closest friends are poisoning or healing each part of your body. One is good for the leg, but another one is bad for the hand. You have to let him or her go. Even if it means being alone, so be it, until you find people that are healthy for your entire body. Number 2, no news and media websites. If you watch the news or read media websites or some apps, just quit immediately. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have no interest whatsoever about all the bad things that happen in politics, healthcare systems, and the world in general. If the thing you're watching is not in your area of expertise, just don't watch it. If it's something very important that will affect your life, believe me, you will know about it. Your parents will tell you, some family member, or your friends.
Yeah. Wait, what happened?
Bad things that happen, especially ones you have no influence in, are only poisoning your brain and gradually your entire health. And the last rule, no social media. My work is social media, but I almost never use my personal profile. I truly don't care if someone is in Bali or someone else is getting married or my high school buddies pretend to live lavish lifestyles. Maybe that's the reason why I miss so many birthdays. If some of my high school buddies are watching this and I miss your birthday, sorry up front and happy birthday. Social media is a wonderful tool for growth and business. But if you use it to stalk and drool on people's highlights and watch cute cats and dog videos, then you're better off without it. Feeling behind in life is a common pattern. The point of this video is to know that when you fall in the state of FOMO, you can get out of it by doing a set of steps. Some people will have always more money than you or have a bigger house on a higher hill. And in a given moment, some people will be more joyful than you, more successful, and happier. We can see this every day on social media. Comparison is really the theft of joy. You are far better than someone in something. I'll give you a stupid example, but you may be better at chasing girls than Jeff Bezos.
Pop chips. Good one. You and Ashley could.
I don't even think he's interested in chasing girls. But the point is that we all have unique skill set that is better than someone else's, even if he's on the top of the food chain of success.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If you ever ran a marathon, you know that this is true. Life is a work in progress and it never truly stops. We all have unique journeys, but I can promise you that with each step closer to your finish line, you will get that sense of accomplishment and joy. Keep on moving. Even if sometimes you make a mistake and fail, remember that without darkness, you cannot see the light. Through failure, not only you will learn the most important lessons, but also you will get to know yourself better. So don't worry about what people are doing. They have nothing in common with your own unique journey. And just let me remind you that if people really enjoy their time somewhere, they rarely take photos and upload them on social media. It's all just a facade and show. The best times of my life are not documented on any social network. They're all here. Champs, thank you so much for being with me to the end. If you like this video, the YouTube algorithm whistles out to all the robots and they take this video on their shoulder and take it to all the computers around the world so more people can see it. Thank you so much for that. And if you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button too, because we're gonna be friends for years to come. See you in the next video here.